Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you are going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear brother. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I want to confess to you all of the evil things that I have done. Yes, I have had a lot of confessions on your platform, but I don't think that there is a confession like mine, like I am about to tell you. I have done things that would horrify anyone who can even hear it. So I was born and raised here in Harare. The funny part about it, my father was a man who had a lot of money, even though he was into a lot of women that ended up destroying several of his businesses from a very young age. Because I grew up in a wealthy family, I wanted more, like to what other people can consider to be wealthy. I was ungrateful. I wanted more and more. It's like I had this hunger to become even more wealthier than my own father. My mother, may God rest her soul in peace, always told me that money can buy anything, even happiness. She was the one who spoiled me and spoiled all of my siblings. And as a family, it was only me, my father, and my siblings who are now in Europe. So we did not have relatives as such, because my father, as for him, he was a man who was from Malawi, and from my mother's side, she was also an orphan. So the time that she got married to my wealthy father, that was when she started to mistreat her relatives, because when she was still suffering as an orphan, they were mistreating her. So she said that this was like a payback. Little did she know that her words, the way that she was spoiling me, would lead me down a path so dark that I am not even sure if I am someone who can be called a human being, because I lost my humanity. When my mother passed away, I was really devastated, not just by her death, but by the realization that my ambitions seemed so far out of reach. I had money, yes, but not the kind of wealth that I craved. Then someone, an old friend of mine, who knew of my desperation, this man, he was always traveling between South Africa and Nigeria. He approached me with an offer. He told me that there was a way to have a lot of incredible wealth, but it would require a great sacrifice. He kept on complaining and telling me that it was because of his South African wife who had forced him to do the things that he did not want to tell me at that time. He kept on saying that it is because of her, it is because of her. I should have just married a woman from my own country. This woman, she is pushing me to the edge. Look what she has made me to do. At that time, his own mother had passed away, but there was something that was just happening that I could not even understand. That woman, she stayed in the mortuary for the longest time. So he was saying that the woman was the one who had pushed him, because she kept on demanding money and money from him. And after he had told me I was willing to do anything, that is how it all began. Then we went to Nigeria. When we went to Nigeria, that was when the rituals were done and my body was prepared and I was strengthened. And that voodoo priest then told me, and he spoke of what was not meant for the faint-hearted. That is why he had to strengthen me first and to remove my soul. My soul, I left it there at the voodoo priest shrine in Nigeria. It required the body of someone, he said, someone that I loved dearly, someone that was dearly beloved to me. My mother's body had not yet been buried at that time when we went to Nigeria, and in my grief and desperation, that was when I agreed. The ritual demanded that I keep her body in the mortuary for exact 66 days. And at that time, this was an unimaginable act for any son, but my greed had overtaken my sanity. I paid the mortuary staff well to ensure that her body was not going to be released for burial, and I kept on concocting a lot of stories and delays so as to keep her relatives at bay. Every night I would visit the mortuary. The things that I did there, Brother Nashi, I am someone who is just the child of the devil. I can hardly bring myself to speak of them. So what I'll do is that when I would go there, I would then be helped by one of the mortuary attendants. Then we would lift the body, then we would place it on top of this other small mattress that I had bought. Then I would lay next to her cold, lifeless body, whispering a lot of incantations that I had been taught. And then the rituals required physical contact, intimacy, sleeping with her that no son should ever experience with his mother. Each and every night, as I followed the ritual's instructions, a corpse will vomit something that was strange and foul smelling. So what I had to do is that after I would have slept with her, then I had to quickly take this other bag. Then I would place my mother's head inside that bag. Then she will start to vomit and to vomit some things that were really smelly. Then I would have to return back home. When I would return back home, I had to place that bag that was full of her vomit like in direct sunlight. And later on, when the sun will be going down, I'll see that a lot of US dollar bills. At first, it was just a few hundreds, but as the nights went on, the amounts grew larger and larger. By the time that the 66 days had passed, it had accumulated into a staggering 1 million US dollars. This was blood money, cursed money, but in my greed, I did not even care at all. The final step of this ritual was the most horrific. My friend, he was there with me, for I had to cut out my mother's tongue, the same tongue that had sung me lullabies when I was still young, the same tongue that had spoken words of love and comfort, and bury it in a secret place. That is what I did. I took it, I cut off her tongue. I did it without hesitation, my soul already lost to the darkness. But the ritual did not end there. Like my friend had done, I had to get married to a woman who was not from the same country that I came from. So I really had a deep desire to marry a woman who was from Namibia because I like them there. But so my friend's wife passed away, and after that, the woman that I was about to get married to, she also lost her life. And that is what I have been doing. Each and every relationship that I have entered, it is there just so that I can just maintain these rituals. The rituals that I have performed, they are not okay. The things that I did with my mother's corpse, each and every time when I sleep with a woman, she is affected, like spiritually, mentally, even physically. I have once dated a woman. After she slept with me, she started crying, and she did not understand why the reason she was crying, but I understood that the reason as to why she is crying, it is because she has slept with the devil's child. The money has kept on going. As for the money, it keeps on coming. The wealth, the more that I sleep with women, the more that I get this money. But now, as I am sitting here surrounded by everything that I want, it's like I see my mother's face each and every time in my dreams, a tongue ripped from her mouth, staring at me, accusing me. I hear the cries of the women that I have used and just thrown away as if they are piece of rubbish. I keep on hearing their voices, and each and every time when I hear the voice of a woman that I would have slept with, what I do is that I just go out and pick up another woman. I bring her into my mansion. We sleep together, we take drugs, and it helps me to forget of the evil that I have done. This is my own confession, Brother Nashi. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Sure. Just imagine keeping your mother's body in the mortuary for 66 days. Yo.